Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Kevin with survivalistboards.com, and today we are working on the chicken coop. Chickens are getting a little bit bigger. They need some more room. So we're going to build them a run. These are 2x4. The long pieces are 12 feet long with 6 foot long 2x4s in the middle. What we're using here is 1 inch or 3/4 inch, 1 inch, yeah, 1/2 inch PVC pipe. Put a couple of screws in there, and what we're going to do is we're going to space these every 2 feet, 2, 4, 6 foot there on out here to the end, and then wrap it in chicken wire. Then it's going to be butted. I'm going to cut a door in the hardware cloth. Then the two are going to be butted up together. This will give the chickens approximately 9.5 feet or 9 and some odd square feet per bird inside the run. On this first piece of tubing, we put a screw in going into that board, and then this screw goes into this board. Using 2.5 inch long screws. Then just bend the pipe over. Do the same thing on the other side. On this one here, this is before we bend the pipe over, we're using 1 5/8 long screws here to hold the galvanized clamp on, come down, and a 2 inch long screw. Got the braces in place. We've got the hoops. Now it's time to put the chicken wire on, and instead of running it over, we're going to run it long ways. We're going to run it long ways on this side, the other side, then across the top. I'm going to secure the chicken wire to the hoops with cable ties. Going to cut a hole in the hardware cloth, then butt them up together. On these braces, I use 3.5 inch long screws. This is all treated material. Here's our clamp. The top screws are 1 5/8 long, and this one here is 2 inches long. If I didn't screw up at least once a day, I wouldn't know what to think about it. Whenever chickens seem to like their new run. Alright, instead of having an 1.5 inch gap, somehow or another, this pole wound up out of square, and I've got a 5 inch gap up there. So now I got to go back and cut all these zip ties, because once some zip ties are in place, this thing is not moving at all. So I got to come back here and cut a bunch of these zip ties so that I could pull that one over. Whenever we bought the wire, I had figured the wire being 4 foot wide, going up, one on one side, one run on the other side, and one run right down the middle. What did I do? I bought 3 foot wire. I was thinking 3 foot because this hardware cloth is 3 foot tall. I just screwed up. So now I've got a tarp over the end of it to keep the chickens from going out of the end. I really wanted to get them in here today, so I just threw a tarp on it, zip tied it in a couple of places to hold it down, threw a couple of cinder blocks on the end, and now they can get in there and scratch around and get some exercise, get out from underneath that coop. So what am I going to do? I need to go to a local hardware store and buy some, not chicken wire, but I'm probably going to get something else. Need it to be 4 foot tall and about 6 foot 3 inches long. And it just seems like every time I try to put something together, something winds up screwing up on it. I just cut the hole in the hardware cloth in there so they can get in and out. I was planning on putting the door and framing it in. Ran out of time today, so that'll be a next weekend project. It's about 18 inches across the bottom and 2 foot tall. Chickens don't have plenty of room for them to get in and out. I'm probably going to cut a little bit wider, frame it in so that the edges of the wires won't catch the wings whenever they go through. Some of y'all may be saying, well, you didn't leave the hardware cloth out so nothing can dig up underneath here. I don't care if anything digs up underneath here. Chickens are going to be in the coop most of the time. I only let them out in the evenings whenever I get here, or whenever I get home from work. My wife and I are home. We come out here and check on them pretty regular. They've got their food, water, perch down in the ground, plenty of ventilation. This is where they stay at until my wife and I get home. Then they get to get out inside the run for a few hours every evening. Alright guys, well maybe I'll be posting an update next week on fixing my screw-ups. But that's the way it is. And for like this gap right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some little 4-inch long zip ties. I'm just going to pull that up. I'm going to zip tie that edge right there, and then zip tie the edge over there so that it's sealed off, kind of like this up here. My wife cut the grass. I put some grass on top of here to see if it would filter through. It didn't go through too good, so. Alright, well there's the run for my chicken coop. Chickens don't seem to have any complaints about it. I'll talk to y'all later.